Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Irons United in the Daily News Special. It's going to be a short one tonight, and it's going to be on just one subject area. We're going to talk about Jared Bowen and whether he should be starting, he should be playing against Man City tomorrow or not. We have had David Moyes talk about Bowen and telling us how impressed he's been during training in the past couple of weeks since he joined West Ham. David Moyes has come out with comments such as he looks really good in training. He's settled in very quickly. He looks sharp. He's had lots of games. He's not short of match practice or match fitness. But there's a but. And the but is, it's important. I've had a lot of players from the Championship. He says it's important to put them in at the right time, at the right moment. And we'll just take our time with him and see when it's right to bring Jared Bowen in. Now, I don't know what David Moyes is thinking because we've got 13 games left. And we've got 13 very important games that we want to win. And we need to win them pretty fast. And I kind of looked at some of the other young players that David Moyes have signed in the past. There was Dan Gosling when he signed him for Everton from Plymouth. Now, Gosling was 19 years of age when he signed, 18 years of age when he signed for Everton from Plymouth. He was signed in January 2008. He didn't make his debut until December 2008. Another young player that David Moyes signed, he signed John Stones from Barnsley at the age of 19 to Everton. Signed him in 2013. John Stones didn't make his league debut until August 2013. You know, in some cases, you can get away with that. You can get away with blooding young players in from the Championship, taking your time over it. But given the fact that we've got only 13 games left, and given the fact that we have been begging for a change in our attacking prowess, shouldn't Jared Bowen start straight away? Now, he's been, as I said, he's been training well. Apparently, everyone's really impressed with him. There are stories like what Mark Noble has said about him. Mark Noble has said that he's been really impressed with Bowen in training. Noble has said he looks good in training. He'll bring lots of goals. He'll bring enthusiasm. And is hungry to play. Even in training, he gets after the ball. That doesn't happen anywhere near as much as it used to. And I thought, yes, he wants it. It's nice to see. So if Mark Noble is seeing this sort of thing in Jared Bowen, and if David Moyes has sort of talked about, how impressed he's been with his training so far, shouldn't he just start him? I mean, what alternatives do we have? We have Snodgrass. We've got Fornals, for example. We've got Allaire, who can play. We've got Antonio. We know that Anderson is back after his injury. But, with Bowen, he's someone new. He's someone fresh. He's someone that could take teams by surprise. Now, I know it's going to be against City and Liverpool in the next two games, and I know no one gives us a chance. But that makes it even more interesting. That makes it even better. That we should be thinking about just bringing Bowen in and giving him the opportunity. What have we got to lose? How difficult would it be to bring him on? If he's got pace, he's got an eye for goal. And I would say, quite frankly, I would say, play him, play the guy, play him from the start, surprise Liverpool, surprise Man City, get him on. They won't know how to handle him. It's going to take a few games before people work out Bowen's game. And then what we got to lose? City, we know what we're like against City. We know we kind of almost give up. So why not just play him and see what happens? I think there's no reason not to. Good evening, Daniel. How are you?
Good evening, Stel. Good mate yourself. Hello, everyone.
I'm all right. And the subject tonight is Jared Bowen, mate. I'm sure you've just heard me ranting about, and it is a bit of a
I
rant,
have.
to be honest with you.
I have.
What's your thoughts? You know, he's a brand new player. He's 22 million pound signing, and Moyes is talking as if he's got all the time in the world. You know, he's talking as if he'll allow Bowen to play. You know, oh maybe, you know, I think he's thinking in his mind he won't start until Southampton. My thinking is that he should start sooner. He should actually start him tomorrow against City. I don't know what you think, mate.
I'm in two minds. You know, we've got 13 games left. Our goal difference is minus 13. Bowen at Hull, he scored in nearly 50% of the games he played. You know, or his appearance. I think his appearance of 124, his goals were 52.
Yeah.
We need goals.
Yep.
But on the flip side of that, as a new player coming in, do you want to send him for the first two games? Is City away, Liverpool away, or would you start him against Southampton at home? But then, would you want to stick him out against a 50+ thousand home crowd as your first game?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, mate. But I think if we spent 22 million pounds on a player for an area that we know we're suffering in, which is attack, why not just go for it? Why not just put him on? You know, we all know what it's going to be like against City. You know, but maybe we should give them something to worry about. I mean, I saw the preview that Matt did last night, and you know they were talking about potential team selections. You know, for me, if we've got Anderson back, Haller, I know everyone's talking about, you know, that they think he's lazy, etc., etc. But we've got Anderson back. We've had Antonio back now, and hopefully he's now fully fit. And Bowen, those three players in or around Haller, for me, would definitely give us some sort of advantage. It'll mean that the City defense will have to watch out for that, you know, and he's an unknown source. So to the Premier League. So why not give him that chance? Why not just throw him in at the deep end?
Because, like you say, it's throwing him at the deep end. You don't want to knock his confidence before he's even had a home game, you know? You've got to play the teams that are the top two in the league at the moment, you know, or up there. You know, it's going to knock his confidence.
Do you really think
we
so?
want him to come out? Yeah, I mean, it's all right saying, oh, we paid this much money for him. He's a professional and this is how much he gets. But that is throwing him in at the deep end.
Don't you think, though, he'd actually be excited at that prospect? That he would, you know, Moyes says to him, "Go on, boy, show us what you can do. Just play your game, you know, and show what the Premier League."
It's a lot. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot of stress, I think, for a player. You know, for anyone. So at work, you get thrown in. Any walks of life, you get thrown at the deep end. You're going to be anxious about it. Anxiety. You're not going to give your best. You're going to make mistakes.
Well, there's a comment from Mr. Song, Truehammer, but maybe he could save us Aka, Kitson and Hartson. That's my thinking. You know,
that's AKA still, not Aka, AKA.
Okay, I call it Aka, but there you go.
Still an accumulator.
But you could, you know, he could be a sort of player that that might, you know, that could sort of bring. He could bring we need a spark, you know, and the only time that we ever seem to have a spark in the team is when Antonio plays. We get excited when Antonio's on because he's got pace and he can, you know, he can outmuscle players, etc. You know, the only other player at the moment that kind of excites me is Anderson. It's great to have him back, you know, and I like Fornals. God knows what's happened to him, but obviously he's not a Moyes favourite. But Bowen could be that sort of player where, you know, he will bring a spark to the team, you know, and we really need it at the moment, don't we?
We do. So how about not starting him if Antonio's back and we know Antonio struggles to play a full game? We play a 4-4-2 and he can replace Antonio maybe. Give him half hour coming on.
Maybe I'm the sort
brand new pair of fresh legs.
Yeah.
After, you know, 60, 70 minutes. Whack him out there. See if he runs rings around him.
Okay. So, don't you think that players around him, like Haller, he'll look at the you know, if he was to start, and he'll look at the pitch and he'll go, "I've got Haller next to me, 45 million. I've got Anderson, 30, 40 odd million. You know, wouldn't that excite him? Wouldn't that make him want to go? yeah,
It,
I'm up for
it,
this.
it would excite me if I was in his position more if I was about to do it at home against Southampton, not against Man City. I know people are saying stop babying them. I can see in the live comments, stop babysitting them. They need to be ready, which I do agree. But I know the West Ham way, and he'll come out and he'll just get battered. It's one of them, if you put him out and he has an absolute howler, or we have a howler, and he doesn't hit the ground running, and for games and games and games, and then in 5-6 games time, we're saying, oh, we should never have done that. We should never have put him out there. We knocked his confidence. He might go out and do the business. Let's hope he does if he's played.
Well, we got.
I just don't want
to. We got forever blowing bubbles. Mick making a comment here. We need pace from now on, and Bowen will give it as Antonio is. Will give it as Antonio is our only other forward with pace, and this is what I'm thinking. Even if he doesn't play the whole game, I say go for it. Go for the jugular. Go. Put Bowen and Antonio on one side and Anderson in the middle, or whichever combination you want, and just go and just run at City. Anderson's actually got pace. The only trouble is he's had to stop short. Most games he's played gets to the 18-yard box because no one else has caught up with him.
There's no one to give the ball to.
No one to give the ball to. Whereas Antonio and Bowen could be exactly the sort of players that would run forward. And we know that Alaire's not a number 9, so he could sort of sit behind as a number 10 or whatever and feed these players, feed Antonio, feed Anderson, feed Bowen. Get them running forward. I mean, it actually does sound quite exciting, which is why I really want to see him play. I get the point about, maybe blooding him and it might be a bit too soon and so on. But I think, he is now a Premier League player, £22 million. Okay, he's not played a Premier League game, but why not? Why not just go for it? Because I reckon City would be afraid of the speed that the likes of Antonio, Anderson and Bowen could give us. Joan, Bowen should start tomorrow. Play goal scorers. Moyes won't, though. And that's what I fear, Joan. Moyes' comments today or this week about, we've got to take our time, etc., etc. It's like, we're running out of time. We're absolutely running out of time. We don't have much time left. 13 games to go, and we're sitting third from bottom.
Yeah. And a minus 13 goal difference as well.
And a minus 13
we need goals. We need goals. Because they do, you need to worry about them now, not the last month of the season. Don't stop worrying about it in April. Okay, let's say he does play him. Where would you play him? Would you play him as a forward or as a winger?
I would actually put Anderson and Bowen out wide, because Bowen, we know, likes to start from the right. Anderson, as we know, can start on the left and cut in. So both players can cut in. And I'd put Antonio up front with Allaire.
Agreed.
And then in the middle, you've got Rice and Souček. I would actually drop Mr. West Ham for this game, I'm afraid. I would put him on the bench and bring him on when we're winning 2-0 and we need to shore it up against Man City away from home, and then bring Noble on at the end. That's what I'd do.
Yeah. So you'd play Lanzini with Rice then?
Not Lanzini, mate. Souček.
Souček. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
so no Lanzini, no Noble, no Snodgrass.
No, that's correct. because they're the sort of players that when we are winning a game, or when we do need to keep it tight, we can bring them on and they'll shore things up. Snodgrass, he's a trooper, but we know unfortunately Snodgrass doesn't have any pace anymore. So that's why I'd start Bowen over him. The only other player I kind of feel sorry for that's kind of gone by the has been Fornals. And, for me, I think Fornals should never have been dropped anyway. Lanzini was favoured over Fornals. But that's why I'd play Bowen. I'd play Bowen because of his pace. We've got a young man here, Mr. Anthony Baker. Don't think he's been on before.
That's a funny name.
It's a funny name, probably Scottish. Bowen has to start, no ifs or buts about it. He didn't come to West Ham to take a forward break. There you go. He wants to play at the highest level. Totally agree, yeah. Anthony. Anthony's probably a 16-year-old whippersnapper, but at least he knows his stuff, So good on you, Anthony. Well done.
I reckon he's Scottish because his avatar is a colour of can of Iron Brew. So we're saying about pace. So maybe instead of Rice, maybe play Sam Fornells or Lanzini, and move Rice into defence.
Well, I know we've been talking about that for a few weeks, haven't we, about Rice going in defence. Well, if you do that, then you put Noble in. Drop Rice in defence and put Noble alongside Souček. Souček will start because he
if you're going to go for pace, go either Fornells or Lanzini.
Yeah, but you need a bit of defensive-minded midfield in there, mate. You can't have 6 attacking players.
Wishful thinking.
That would be a disaster. Joan, Bowen is not depressed or jaded yet. Play him.
Well, he may be point. Thursday morning.
But that's absolutely a good point, Joan. He's not been tarnished by the West Ham fatigue that we, all our players seem to suffer from. So I'm with you, Joan. I think there's no reason why he shouldn't start. Moyes already set up a defensive side for City by the sounds of it. Yeah, Hammerwell. This is what I'm afraid of. He'll end up probably playing Souček, Noble, and Rice in the centre of midfield, and cut out all our attacking options. And that's why I think Bowen should start, really. Hammer Mulder, good evening or good afternoon from California. Nice of you to join us. No,
we're not envious about your weather at all, are we still?
No, not at all. Oh, God, Anthony Baker again. He's a striker, though. I'm not sure his confidence could be knocked considering where he's come from. Yeah, Anthony, thank you for that. He's actually a winger, but who can play as a second striker. But there you go.
Yeah, where he's come from, Hull City, little fish. Or big fish, little pond. It's been the big boys now.
Absolutely. Gary says, we all need to stop babying this team. Come on. Absolutely agree. Get him on there. Show what he can do. But I think by the sounds of it, we all know that Bowen is going to be on the bench tomorrow. Get your comments in about that. What do you think? Any other? I said it was going to be short. We're already 18 minutes in. Any other comments from you, mate, before we go for the night?
Mate, from me, well, I see a few people saying, do we think Lanzini will start?
No, he won't.
Some people saying, I'll bet your house on it, he will.
No, I can't see that because I think he's a bit of a he's careful with his team, isn't he, Moyes? And he did drop Lanzini in the last game, but who are you going to play? Who are you going to replace if Lanzini starts? It's going to be. Is he not going to start Antonio?
No, I would not. I would move Rice into centre back role.
Yeah. Or will he even start Hilaire or Anderson tomorrow? He may not even start with them.
No, to me, I can't see him playing Antonio, Hilaire, and Bowen at the same time. I think one will be a sub.
This is our downfall, though, mate. We need to go for it. DJ Blokey, good point. Rather Bowen made mistakes against City and Liverpool than Southampton, and game time with the rest of the team.
That's a good shout.
Absolutely, 100% agree.
I suppose if he has it in the mindset, or they say to him like, "We've got no expectations about this game. Go out, try your best, do what you can, try and win it, but just be out there with the lads in a real game situation."
Yeah, exactly. And Joan says, we've only got 13 games to save a nightmare. It's worth a risk. Totally agree, Joan. Young Anthony's back on again. We need Bowen to hit the ground running, have game time and be prepared for Southampton. Absolutely. It's a bit like the comment that we put up a moment ago. Absolutely agree.
That is where our next win should come to, isn't it? Southampton, that's where it should come from. Our next win. As much as we want one against City and Liverpool,
I reckon we can.
Southampton's the most likely
game or two. I reckon we can. If we play attacking football, proper attacking football, and don't hold back, who's to say that we can't get something? A point out of the next two games. Hammond Mulder. The thing is, Moyes has set us up to win most of our games. Well, we haven't won most of our games. He can't plan for players' stupid mistakes. Well, yeah.
He won his first one, didn't he?
But I reckon Mulder, that the mistake he made against Brighton was that he brought Masuaku on. And there you go. I was going to go through a whole show without mentioning him, and I did it. There you go.
Yeah.
I just did, Mick.
That's another round he has to get us all.
You know what Moyes is all about. 5 across the back. He's got no idea to play expansive football, and that's what
I would not be surprised.
That's what
I was saying about moving Rice back, and you never asked who would he replace, because I would not be surprised against a 5 at the back. But would it be 3-5-2 or 3-4-1?
If it's 3-5-2, then yeah. But then you're missing out on attacking players.
Yeah, 5-3-2. Yeah.
I want to see a 4-3-3 tomorrow night, to be honest with you. Or I want to see or I want to see a traditional 4-4-2. I think
4-4-2 is where I'd be happy. Yeah.
Yeah, 4-4-2. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, Mick. If City players are not fully focused because of the European ban, then surely it could be a great game for Bowen to start. Boom. There you go.
Yeah, totally that is one. What have they got to play for? They're not going to win the league, are they?
Exactly.
I mean, potentially they could, but they're not.
Yeah.
Why run your legs off?
Tone, you come out with some of the weirdest things.
What's Michael Keaton.
Batman film.
Right, Michael Keaton, yeah. Batman.
There you go. And what else have we got? Mick, Holland's just scored for Oxford. One might argue that maybe that's his level, I'm afraid. So who knows? Who knows? Can you see him coming back? If we go down, then probably he'll play for West Ham. Will he play for the first team in the Premiership? I don't know. I really don't. Anyway, we're not talking about him.
Not without cup games.
Vinay, I hope Man City are depressed about their European ban. I hope Pep and some players secretly want to leave. I think you'll see a mass exodus, especially if the Premier League has got any balls at all and drops them from the Premier League. But that won't happen, will it? So there you go.
Yeah, it'd be nice for us if we're sitting 17th.
Well, yeah. Can you imagine? We're third from bottom and there's a game to go. And then all of a sudden we get the news that Man City are being dropped to Division 2 or whatever it's called.
Plus, technically, it would mean that we played better than Man City this season. So,
yeah, technically. Lord Liam, I'd like to see Bowen start, but I wouldn't be against him coming on in the last 30 minutes. I wouldn't be against it either, but I'd rather we start him and start bloodying some noses of some of these top teams, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the only thing is if we're 3 goals down with half hour to go, would they just throw him in then?
No,
I don't think you wouldn't. You wouldn't do it.
No fucking point then, is it, mate?
No.
I mean,
Then you are just doing it to dent his confidence,
Gary, I call it now. 5 at the back, Lanzini and Masu. Oh, I can't even say his name to start. There you go. I'm not going to say his name.
With Sanchez in the midfield.
Right, now it's getting farcical. I want a 4-4-2 personally, but I wouldn't be against the 4-3-3. Absolutely. Yeah. And what else we got? I'm trying to catch up with all your comments here, lads. Thank you all for doing it. If we win our next 11 games, here we go. Hammerwell's smoking weed again. If we win all our games 11-0, we could end up in the Champions League spot.
Well, it's dropped, isn't it? So, yeah, it's possible. We only need to win our next 10, I think. Depends on how other people do. But West Ham, we don't like to rely on other teams doing the hard work for us.
Exactly. Mick, we lose to Villa last game. Think we're down. The Man City. We lose to Villa last game. Think we're down. The Man City something relegated.
Man City get relegated. It would be so
Man
funny.
City get relegated. I've got you.
So we're going to go down, but no, saved because Man City are demoted.
Yeah, got it. Right, I'm ranting now. Anything else from you, or should we call it a quick one? It's only been 24 minutes.
Well, no, I don't want a quick one, thanks, Stel. But I think we've pretty much covered everything we need to. Unless anybody else. People are slowing down. There's no questions. They're all sitting watching. Come on.
And wondering what the hell we're ranting on about. There you go,
Thanks,
Joan. You lot cheer me up. There you go. We cheer ourselves up.
It's that face, isn't it? It's his face.
Might need to cheer ourselves
up. That face there, that's what cheers you up. Hey.
Right, we're back on tomorrow night with a review of the game. We're all going to be celebrating a Bowen hat-trick, of course. What else? So tune in straight after the game. We're going to do a quick review of the game. And thank you all for watching. And come on, Bowen.
Go on, you Irons. See you guys tomorrow.